this is not easy to say because I was Facebook hacked, and I'm owning up to it. I was my fault. I let them in. I messed up. So on May 4th, I was out of town and I was on my mobile. Something came up. It said, hey, go to Messenger. And we got this thing that you can be part of. And then I went in and I don't know, I was on some sort of cruise control or something. And I did the things that I tell people not to do. Log in, get that code, two-factor authentication, let it in. Within seconds, I got an email from Facebook saying, we've taken down your profile. We've reviewed your profile and cannot be reviewed again. It's a common thing that a lot of people have been getting. And so the first thing they said was change your password, of course. So that's what I did. I changed my password. I was on my phone. I wasn't on a regular computer, so I had to wait till I got to the regular computer. That would take a couple hours. Got back home, got on one of the computers that I normally run Facebook on. I went to facebook.com/hacked. And then I went in, they said, hey, facial recognition. It was tougher with the beard, but it still worked. Took a few tries, but still worked. They said, hey, give us a picture of your identification. I used my passport because it was just readily available. And so I sent it. And they said, it's going to take 2 or 3 days. And I know 2 to 3 days doesn't always mean 2 to 3 days. And then sometimes it means 2 to 3 weeks. And so that's where we are right now. It's been 3 weeks since this happened. And this is the first time I'm publicly talking about it because there's a lot more that's involved in this now because I've run business through Facebook. When I lost my Facebook page, I lost all the groups that I was managing. I lost all the pages I was managing. Some of them just went down. My music page, for example, where I had gigs planned and things like that, gone. Luckily, my band's page is being managed by 2 or 3 people. So that's still up. Geekazine is still up. And I'm not exactly sure why. Facebook.com/Geekazine. Because I never added another person to it. So I'm not sure why it's still up. Now, Geekazine has also, when business pages started, that was the first thing I did, was made sure I had a Geekazine page. And so I'm glad it's still up, but it's been stagnant for 3 weeks. I don't know what to do with it. So along with my Facebook being taken down and my pages just disappearing or being put behind walls, basically, if you go to those pages, it'll say, this person, you can't view this page right now. Because I have 180 days to make an appeal, which I've already done. Then they basically say you make the appeal in a couple days, we'll give you a result, which of course hasn't happened yet. They've said, okay, download your data, which we'll get to in a minute. But what also happened was my messenger was completely gone. I had 4 different conversations that I was talking to people. 2 of them, I've been able to contact them and continue the conversation. One was a marketplace thing, and I was pretty much done. And then one was a person I still haven't been able to get a hold of. A business deal that's just kind of sitting there. Because Facebook's down, my Instagram is down. Even though I started the Instagram before they did the meta merge, whatever, I cannot log into, and I've always kept a separate username password, but it's always been attached to my Facebook ever since they did that. So I can log in my Instagram account, but it says, since your Facebook page was disabled, you don't have an Instagram page anymore. So that's gone. With that, all the reels, all the posts that I've done are gone. I was actually making money off of reels. And I think I did get paid a couple days ago for some of it, but now it's gone. I can't make future reels. In fact, I've been making content since then, and all of that content has shown up on TikTok.com/Geekazine, shown up on my YouTube.com/Geekazine, those places. But even on X.com/Geekazine, nothing on Facebook, nothing on Instagram. I usually get conversations from people wanting to me to review their products through Facebook, because most of them don't have email addresses, and I really don't use WhatsApp. By the way, my WhatsApp is still there. I can still access it. And the first post was, hey, you might have been hacked on Facebook. You want to do something. So the Facebook hack, oh yeah, my Threads is also gone. What happened was once that all happened, I did get an email saying, hey, you just logged in Vietnam. It's like, wait, what? Those are the emails that I had. When I went through the verification, it said 2 to 3 days. However, I got an email from Meta saying that I must download my data before June 5th, and my account's going to get closed on June 18th. That's not 180 days. So I went through the verification. I went through hey, I've been hacked once again, doing the facial thing, doing the upload, the ID, all that other stuff. And I still haven't gotten any email confirmation. I tried to download my data, and you get to the download point, and then it says, put in your username and password. And you put in your username and password, the original one, and it says that person doesn't exist. I did it again. I finally got to a point where I actually got to log in, and I get now this page that says your account's been disabled. And of course, it asks to download, but I haven't been able to download it. And I'm hoping that this time it's going to work, but I got to wait, because most of the time it says, we will let you know when your download is ready. No email, nothing. Here's where it gets really weird. If you don't know anything about what Facebook, what Meta is doing to counter this, this is where it gets really messed up. Everything support related is through AI now. There is no human at the helm. I'm a big fan of AI. Don't get me wrong. I think this would be the best thing in the world if they can get AI to work right. But within a second, my account was hacked, my review was done, and it said I couldn't do anything else. Got the email to prove it. Nothing that I've even tried, just at that point in time, boom, right down the line. Now it's been 3 weeks. I have not heard a hide nor hair from Meta. And if I log in, I get the exact same stuff. If I go to their AI, they just say, go to facebook.com/hacked. And that's it. If I was verified, if I would have gotten that blue check mark, $20 a month, whatever it costs, they say that I would kind of get pushed through the line. However, I've been up on Reddit and a couple Facebook, just like everybody else, trying to figure out how I'm going to get my Facebook back. And I'm hearing some real horror stories of people that get hacked and they're out 10, 15, 20 years worth of information that they put in, pictures, memories, family members. My dad passed away in 2021. My mom passed away last year. I can't friend those accounts anymore. The connection between my parents and me, I can't do, or I can't redo for that matter. Friends that have passed away. In fact, the week that it happened, that week, a friend in the community passed away. And luckily, this person was pretty well known in a lot of bands. He came out and was a part of a lot of bands. His name's Fast Eddie. And so they made a Facebook page called Fast Eddie Sightings. And he passed away that week. I didn't know until like 2 or 3 days later, reading it in actual news. And that's sad. And other people that have passed away in my life, that are, they passed away like 4, 5, 10 years ago. They were all still friends on my Facebook because I never really deleted friends. You had to really do something to make me say, I don't want your stuff showing up in my feed anymore. It takes a lot. Let's just put it that way. And I have no access to them. People that I've met in my travels, I have no way to access them. No way to say, hey, I've been hacked. I've got nothing. And, Facebook does say if you try to create another profile, you could get completely banned. So what do? I also have community pages that I do live streams for. So I had to figure out how to get into those pages again. Luckily, other people had access. So I was able to do what I need to do. But now it's becoming more of a task because I can't do it through my Facebook profile. So a lot of my business has just been chopped off. It's like if somebody just stole my keys to my house. I can't get into my house. Usually the landlord comes over, gives me a new key, we redo the locks or whatever, and I get back in, I'm in. But now nobody's here to change the locks. Even though I had them said, hey, these are the new locks, I can't get in. I can't get into my house. And in 180 days, they're just going to completely gut it and take everything out for the next person. So maybe in a year, my profile, the link that it was facebook.com/Jeffrey Powers. Somebody else is going to have that. Everything that I've done for the last 19 years is gone. And more important, everything that I've done on Facebook is gone. I got to start. If I can get back in, I've got to start from zero. And I'm going to lose a lot of connections, a lot of friendships, a lot of memories. Everything. And maybe tomorrow Facebook will come and say, hey, you were in the queue. There you are. We restored your account. Everything's good. And that would be great. But right now, 3 weeks without this account has cost me business in both Facebook side and Instagram side. And I cannot offer new business because, like I said, we were doing reels. Can't offer reels right now, because I don't have access to those reels. I do have an Instagram account. I could put it on there, but I don't want to do that. I want to show them that Geekazine is Geekazine. I built this brand for the last 19 years, and I want to continue to build this brand for the next 19 years. I've gone all over the world because of Geekazine. I've done live streams. I've done videos. I've done photos. I've done everything. But now, with everything happening in the world in the last couple of years, things have gotten tougher and tougher to get going. And I'm not using that as an excuse, but it is noticeable. I've lost some business because of everything that's going on in the world. And this doesn't help. And I know there are, like I said, 150,000 a day are losing their Facebook accounts simply because a silly mistake and getting hacked. Are they getting them back? I have heard stories of people saying, yeah, I got mine back. That's great. And like I said, maybe tomorrow I'll get mine back and that'll be great. I'll be happy. And I won't squander this again. This is what I'm hoping. And hopefully I can give you some information so it doesn't happen to you. Now, keep in mind, I had two-factor authentication in. And I call it brain fart. If you don't have two-factor authentication, do it. Getting that text message or whatever. If you have business pages, ask a friend if they can be an admin to that page. My high school class's yearbook Facebook group is gone. I mean, it's probably in the ether or the Facebook ether somewhere, but nobody can access it. So if you give somebody else access, at least there's a way in to continue on what you need to do. I don't know what to do about Instagram. I had a separate username password for Instagram, even though it does connect to Facebook, and they won't let me in. And that hurts. It's especially when everybody wants you to be on either Instagram, TikTok, or both. You can't get into Instagram because somebody hacked your account. And I was making something off of that, but not as much as some other people that I've heard stories of their Instagrams getting hacked and taken down. And they're making, it's covering bills, it's paying rent, it's whatever. And now that's gone for them. I've been hacked before. Actually, my first hack was back in 1995. I was working for a big tech company, and I had a GeoCities page. Like most people, Area 51 was my street address. And then some kid from Toronto found my password, which I thought was pretty secure, but turned out not to be. And he hacked into it. And he had the ability to watch as I changed the password and then basically just deleted my account. And GeoCities at that point was like, if the account's deleted, there's nothing we can do. That was 30 years ago. Since then, there's been strides for when an account goes down. I've helped many YouTube channels get their channel back because they've been hacked. In fact, a couple of years ago, we had that one hack. And it happened with Linus Tech Tips. They get a PDF file and they say, click here for this. And then you click on the PDF and then it asks for you to log in with and do the two-factor authentication. Next thing you know, boop, they have their information and they were live streaming cryptocurrency AI videos. And I talked about that a couple of years ago. And I was helping people get their accounts back. And it was not that difficult. We just had to call them and talk to support. Now, Facebook doesn't have, they have AI support. And like I said, I'm a proponent. I love AI. I've been talking about AI for years now. But with the fact that there's no second tier that I know of, that anybody knows of, everything is AI based. And I think that's why it came back with you cannot get this reviewed again. And there's something flawed because like I said, I've been up on Reddit and I've listened to the stories. People just like me. Yeah, there's some people that are, I did something stupid. I'm not going to tell you about it. But there are people that are legitimately losing their Facebook accounts and not getting a human to help them. With YouTube, we talked to somebody within 2 days, our YouTube was back. Why? Because we're making, we're monetizing these things and we're making money. They're making money. We're making money. And Facebook, I'm not making money anymore. And Instagram, not making money anymore. The worst one up until this point, last year, my Tumblr, I got an email saying, we've taken down your Tumblr account. No reason why. No, you've been hacked. No, nothing. I put in the appeal and really didn't care too much about if it went down. I wasn't going to deal with Tumblr anymore after that. Then all of a sudden, 3 months later, it came back. We got your account back up. That's great. But with this, there's a little bit more at stake here. Being out of opportunities for 3 weeks has been very stressful. I've had sleepless nights because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. People see facebook.com and look at the last date being before May 4th and thinking, is this channel even around anymore? Yes, it is, just not there. And it's sitting there for people to see, but I can't access it. And like I said, with those marks, you pay that $20 a month. They say that, well, we can get your account back faster. I've, once again, Reddit stories of people with Meta Verified not being able to get back in. I can't use my MetaQuest. I can't use the portal. I can't use any of the hardware that I bought for Facebook. If I had any accounts that I created through Facebook, they're all gone too. I'm even a stockholder. From day one, I bought stock into Facebook. That's not a way in. There's a guy, my understanding, and reading some of these news stories, there's a guy that actually stands outside of Facebook headquarters with a sign every single day, basically saying, I've been hacked. When are you going to give me my account back? And that's 2 years. Some people have lost hope. I'm starting to lose hope. Like I said, 19 years worth of friends and data, my parents, messages that I had with family and friends gone that I can't get back. And it's frustrating because somebody decided, hey, I want to try and game the system. I want to figure it out. And we deal with that every day. I guess it's just the biggest thing is not getting an email confirmation, not getting a case number. There have been people that have taken legal action on this, and a story about a man who won $56,000. I don't want money back from him I want my page back. I want my life on Facebook back to what it was. So I can use my MetaQuest. So I can get to facebook.com/Geekazine. So I can do what I was planning and hopefully take business to the next level. The first thing is, if you have a page, talk to a friend. Say, hey, can I make you admin? Enough to the point where if my account gets hacked, at least I can get into those other pages. Let people know where they can get, like for instance, with my music business, I do have a website, but people go through Facebook In fact, I had 3 gigs lined up through Facebook. And these people will contact you through Messenger. I don't have Messenger anymore. So what do I do? And being in the start of summer, that's usually the peak where I start getting messages like, hey, can you play this place? Can you do this? Can you do this? I can't get those messages 3 weeks out of that. So make sure that you have somebody that's helping you. So if this happens, you can still get into those pages. So you still don't lose all that you've worked for. Waiting 3 weeks for an answer, waiting 2 months for an answer. If let's say 179 days, I get the email that says my account's back up. Well, that's the summer that I lost all that business on. I say this because, like I said, with things happening financially, it's getting tough and I need some help. If you'd like to help, I do have the Patreon over at patreon.com/Geekazine. I do have venmo.com/Geekazine where you can leave a tip. I appreciate it. My goal is to continue on. I've got reviews to do. I got companies that I've been working with for a little while now. I'm hoping to continue on with that. I still have my YouTube channel, which of course will garner that. I have my webpage, which I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that because once again, I got to be able to pay for it. And I'm having, some financial issues right now. I'm trying to find these ways to stay where I am and get back to where I was technically pre-COVID. So if you'd like to help, please reach out to me, geekazine@gmail.com. Go over to YouTube and leave comments down there and let me know. If you are going to say, hey, go to this guy because he can get your Facebook account. No, I don't want that. In fact, that's probably one of the people that actually hired the person to hack into my account because they know that they can go in and say, oh, for $1,000, I can get your Facebook account back. And then they disappear. The only way to actually get your Facebook account back is through Meta. And all we have is an AI bot that we can't talk to. So I got to leave it at that. I know this is long. It's going to be very loosely edited. Take out some of these pauses, but that's pretty much it. I hope you guys don't do what I did. I hope that you don't go through what I'm going through. And I really, 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 really hope that Meta looks at this or looks at, somebody that's going to influence them to say, hey, maybe we need somebody at the switchboard just in case, because this is more than just a website. And they say, if you're not paying for something, then you are the product. And that's all well and good, but we're using this for a lot more. We're using this as our homes. We're using this as our businesses. And like I said, with the analogy, somebody steals the key. I can't get into the house. I also can't get into my business. And that's a problem. So, like I said, I'm going to leave it at that. It's very emotional, and I hope I can get past this. I hope I can have a conversation with somebody from Facebook that will help me through this, because nobody should have to go through this, especially people that actually follow the rules and keep, just like I said, make some silly mistake that we can get back up and running as quick as possible. So anyway, my name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for listening to my rants. And we've got a lot of great content still coming through. So go over geekazine.com, youtube.com/geekazine, subscribe, and of course, hit the bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. If you'd like to help me out in other ways, script writing, I try not to do AI script writing as much, getting products to me, being able to help promote me. I could really use somebody to do that. That would be great. Just contact me, geekazine@gmail.com, down in the show notes, everything like that. Thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a lot for watching. You guys geek out and stay safe out there. Take care.